training to be a teacher, which means you're also training to be a professional. A profession is an occupation for which there's a specific set of knowledge and set of skills that you need to take some training in order to acquire. That's why you're taking a course like this one. But there's a bit more to being a professional than just knowing things and being able to do things. Being a professional is also about following a certain set of standards so that people respect what you do and who you are. In this video, we're going to take a look at what it means to be a professional. The first aspect of being professional is looking like one. If your organization has a dress code, this is simple. Just follow the dress code. If not, however, you need to have some parameters in mind when you're selecting your wardrobe each morning. We're going to do a quick what not to wear session on your closet to give you some ideas. Let's get started. On the top here, we have a pair of rather grotty looking sweatpants. Sweatpants are great if you're at home alone, lounging in front of the TV, relaxing, feeling comfortable. For the classroom, however, they're a big no. We have a pair of polka dot pajama bottoms. This is nightwear. This is not classroom wear. So also a big no. Next up, we have a pair of jeans. Jeans do actually work if you get dress jeans and they don't have any holes or tears or frays in them. This pair of jeans, unfortunately, doesn't quite pass the test. We've got some fraying going on there and some more there. We've got a nice hole down here, and we've got another hole way down here. So this particular pair of jeans, they have to go. What's next? We have a skirt. Skirts are great for women to wear to look professional in. However, be careful of skirts like this because there's not very much of it. You really don't want to wear skirts that are this short. It's not a good idea to show that much leg in the classroom. So this one, it has to go. We have a pair of shorts. Shorts are a pretty strong no for both men and women. However, once in a while there's a nice dress short out there for women that might come down to your knees. That's pretty good. Otherwise, they have to be a no. What's next here? We have a t-shirt. T-shirts that are a plain color or a nice pattern, they're pretty good for looking professional in. However, be careful about t-shirts that have writing on them. You don't want to inadvertently offend your students. This particular t-shirt, it has to go. What else do we have here? We have another t-shirt. This one tells us that you went to Greece for your last holiday. We really don't need to know that. So this t-shirt, not professional. Just a couple more things here. We have a camisole. This is very nice for women to wear underneath a blouse. However, on its own, not a good idea. And what's this one? We have another top. Sort of. There's not really much to it. Be careful about tops that really aren't quite there. You want your tops to cover you, not to, I don't know what this one does. So this one, it has to go. One last thing here. There's a pair of sunglasses. These are great if you're outside and it's nice and bright and sunny and you don't want the glare to get in your eyes. In the classroom, however, they're not so good. Your students want to be able to make eye contact with you. If you're wearing sunglasses, they can't do it. You have the same problem if you have progressive lenses that get dark in certain lights. So stay away from those as well. So that's the end of our what not to wear session. Actually, I lied. We're not done with what not to wear. I forgot an entire section of your closet, the footwear section. Let's take a look and see what you have here. Flip-flops. These are super comfortable and trendy and all that good stuff in the summertime, but they are not professional. They have to go. And we've got some nice, warm, fuzzy slipper boot kind of things. Very comfortable if you're working from home or something like that, but please don't wear these in the classroom. You must like red. You got lots of red stuff here. Crocs. Very comfortable, very convenient. Not professional. Don't even try wearing these in the classroom. You've got another pair of slippers, easy to get on, but really they don't look professional. Oh, these ones are interesting. Very nice, expensive looking pair of high heel shoes. Women, you'll look great in these and you'll feel very sexy, but try wearing these for 8 hours a day. Good luck. And last but not least, we've got a rather interesting looking pair of running shoes. These have long since seen their best days, so the best place for these is not on your feet in the classroom. The best place is actually in the garbage. Out they go. There's one last thing we need to talk about related to professional appearance. And to do this, I'm going to do a quick product showcase. Hopefully you're already using these products as part of your daily routine, but this is just a gentle reminder. So we have soap, we have shampoo, we have toothpaste, and a toothbrush, and we have deodorant, or you can use antiperspirant. These are the products you should be using. You might also choose to use perfume, or for men, cologne. Be careful with these that you don't put too much on and make the scent too strong for your students. I know these products are really obvious. However, in my lengthy teacher training career, trust me, I've seen everything. The next aspect of being professional is to keep yourself healthy so that you can be effective on the job. Hang on a second. Oh, sorry about that. Make sure that you get enough sleep every night so that you come to work awake and alert. Make sure that you eat healthy food, not too much junk food and so on. By the way, have you ever had a combination of potato chips and chocolate? This is like the best. So you take a bite of chocolate, and you take a bite of the potato chip. It's awesome. Next thing, make sure you don't show up for work drunk or hungover or high or any of that good stuff. Hang on a second, I just need a drink to get the food down. That's a really nice red. And finally, have some strategies in place to keep your stress at a minimum. Namaste. Another aspect of being professional is demonstrating certain personal characteristics. Here are some of them. Be honest. If you don't know how to do something or you can't do something, just say so. If you make a mistake, admit to it. Be reliable. If you promise to do something, make sure you follow through and actually do it. Be positive. Glass half full people are always more successful than glass half empty people. Be flexible. In any professional environment, the unexpected always happens, and you just have to be able to deal with it. And finally, be authentic. Don't try and be somebody you aren't. Being able to communicate effectively is an important part of being a professional. So let's take a look at what effective communication looks and sounds like. First of all, when you speak, make sure you speak at an appropriate volume and at an appropriate speed. Don't mumble or mutter under your breath, and don't let your sentences just kind of peter off. Make sure you complete everything. Don't share too much personal information with your students. They don't need to hear about the date you had last night or troubles you had with your husband or your wife or what your kids are going through. They don't need to know any of that. They also don't need to know things like how much money you make or your opinion of your working conditions. So keep personal information personal. When you're communicating, make sure that you don't use swear words, slang, or any other words or phrases that students might find offensive. You want to demonstrate that you're a professional, and you also don't want to teach them these words or the slang. Never, never, never gossip about your colleagues or about other students. Don't spread negative information or untrue information about anyone. There just is no place for that kind of behavior or that type of communication in a professional environment. Be aware of your nonverbal communication. When you meet colleagues or students in the class or the hallway, make eye contact with them and smile. Make sure that you're standing up straight and not slouched over looking like you're exhausted or don't want to be there. And when you meet someone for the first time, use a handshake to make the greeting very formal and very polite. Professional communication also extends to communication technologies and social media. With communication technologies such as cell phones and smartphones, turn them off or have them on silent during class time. Don't read or send texts, and don't answer phone calls in the classroom. With social media, be very careful about comments and photographs that you post on your social media sites. Employers are now actually checking social media sites when they're looking to hire somebody, and you don't want to have anything inappropriate there. Also be very careful about who you befriend through social media. Particularly be careful about allowing students access to your social media sites. Let's talk briefly about what professional behavior looks like. First and foremost, professionals know how to manage their emotions. So don't demonstrate excessive anger or frustration or excitement. Don't target a supervisor, a colleague, or a student with your anger or your sarcasm. Don't argue in public with anyone. And if you get feedback or information you don't like, don't react negatively and defensively. So just be really careful about the emotion that you demonstrate publicly. The next one is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have done unto you. So treat others exactly the way you would like to be treated. And finally, demonstrate through everything that you say and everything that you do that you care about your organization and that you have an interest in your organization's success. The final aspect of being a professional as a teacher is what you do in the classroom and in the school. This is called professional practice. So let's take a look at this. First up, we have be punctual. Make sure you arrive to class at least 15 minutes before the class start time so that you can get organized. You don't actually want to be arriving after the majority of your students. You also want to start and finish your class on time. If your class finishes late, then this actually throws the schedule off for all the classes that follow. The next part of professional practice as a teacher is to be prepared. So there's a few different pieces that go into this. Make sure that you've got lesson plans done for the classes that you're going to teach. Make sure that you've got the handouts photocopied, you've got all the textbooks you need, you've got the audio you need and the audio equipment, or if you're using video, the same thing. Make sure any technology you are using works, and make sure you know the lesson content. And there's nothing worse than standing up in front of a class and not knowing what you're supposed to be teaching. Also, on a practical side, make sure you have whiteboard markers or chalk and erasers, whatever you need to do that visual part of your lesson. Paperwork is a not so fun part of being a teacher, but it needs to be done. So make sure that you do attendance taking, marking, and any other kind of report making or record keeping that is required by your supervisor. Make sure it's legible and make sure it's organized. Being a teacher means working with other teachers. There are very few schools with just one teacher. So be really considerate of your colleagues. Don't hoard resources. Make sure they're accessible to everyone. Keep your work area clean so your work is not spilling over onto the work area of another teacher. And if you share classrooms with other teachers, leave the classroom in good condition. So reorganize the chairs if necessary. Make sure the whiteboard or the blackboard is clean and everything's just in good order. As a teacher, you're not just teaching. You're also participating in non-teaching aspects of running a school. This means that you are usually required to attend staff meetings where things like administration and other issues get discussed. Make sure you attend the staff meetings and also be engaged in the staff meetings. Don't just sit there and doodle or send text or something like that. Ask questions, make comments, respond to questions, make yourself heard, and participate in making your school the best that it can be. Collegiality is a key concept in professional practice for teachers. Collegiality means that you're not working individually and isolated as a teacher. You're working together with the other teachers to create the best learning experience possible for your students. What this means is that you're sharing ideas, you're sharing resources, and you're working together to solve any problems that might arise. The lunchroom is a shared space for all teachers, and you need to be considerate of those shared spaces. In the lunchroom, don't leave your leftover food all over the table for other people to brush away, and don't leave food in the fridge for weeks on end so that it's ready to get up and walk away on its own. Be considerate of that shared lunch space. As a teacher, you can be friendly with your students, but you cannot be friends with them, because as a teacher, you actually have authority over your students, and you've got a certain amount of power over whether they pass or fail the course. So this means you want to establish a good rapport with your students, but you also have to keep clear lines and boundaries in place. The final piece to professional practice is maintaining your own skill level and competence. The practice of teaching language is constantly changing. There are new ideas out there, there are new resources, there's new technologies. Your job and your responsibility as a teacher is to stay on top of what's happening in the profession of language teaching. You can do this by completing ongoing professional development, by going to conferences, reading journal articles, reading stuff online, and talking with your colleagues. So make sure that as a teacher you stay on top of what's happening in language teaching. Hopefully there were some tips in this video that you'll find useful as you build your English language teaching career. Remember, being an effective teacher is not just about the skills and the knowledge that you have, it's also about being a professional. But you can still have some fun along the way.